Yo, what's going on, everybody? Hope all is well. So, y'all, I'm starting to podcast 4 days a week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I said that on my last episode, but I just want to make sure everyone know that I am podcasting more frequently these days. If you hit the follow button, you'll never miss a podcast because that's your reminder, right? So make sure you hit the follow button so you never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. So y'all stop trying to manage scenarios that are out of your control. Let me say that again. Stop trying to manage scenarios that are out of your control. A lot of times in life, we get so infatuated with control that we forget that there's only certain things that we can control. And ladies, I don't want to pick on you here and make this episode all about y'all because I'm not. But it's a known fact that women struggle more with control, having control and taking control more than men do. Now, some men should probably take control more in their households, but they just don't because they don't want to put in the work. Let me just put it that way. And so, fellas, when you do that, your woman, your bae will take control of the household. And at some point, you're going to complain about it because you're going to say she don't respect you because she doesn't stop trying to take control. But again, stop trying to manage outcomes that are out of your control. Some things are just out of our control and we cannot control them. A while back, I applied for a position at work and this was a while ago now and probably a couple years, but I applied for a position at work and I really, really wanted this position because I felt like it would help solidify my career where I was. Right. And so I applied for the position because it was a step above or a level higher than what I was managing at the point in time. And I really, really wanted this position because I felt like that I deserved it. And what was in my control for this position was how I interviewed, how I prepared myself, and how I showed up to the interview, right? What was out of my control, whether they were going to hire me or give me the position or not. Totally out of my control. I couldn't control that. No one can control that. All you can do is make sure you show up as positive and prolifically as possible. Right. But so, but I kept trying to control the situation. I kept emailing the manager every other week, and nothing is wrong with following up after y'all apply for a position. But at some point, you could become a bugaboo. But every other week, I was emailing the manager, hey, do you have an update? Was I the candidate you chose? What's taking so long? When are you going to offer me the position? Right. And at some point, it was like overkill because I was trying to manage the outcome of a scenario that I really didn't have control over. And so, like I said, the only control I had was how I interview, right? But y'all, we've got to stop with trying to control scenarios. Control is rooted in fear. I feel like a lot of us want to have control, take control, and need control because we fearful that if we don't have the control, something's going to fall through the cracks. And in reality, that's not always true. Just because you don't have control of every scenario doesn't mean things are not going to fall through the cracks. And let me use this as an example. Sometime when you do have control, things still fall through the cracks. None of us are perfect. So we can't 100% control every scenario. It just turns out the way it turns out. The results are the results. I remember when I was selling Herbalife, one of my upline leaders said, hey, when you all are selling Herbalife and you're selling products to people, don't get infatuated with the outcome because some of us, when we get told no, we're really allowing it to impact us. And some of us got told no so many times till some of us just quit being a distributor because we got tired of hearing no. But the feedback we got was like, hey, don't be concerned about the outcome. Don't be too brought into whatever the outcome's going to be. And of course, in our minds, we all thought the outcome was going to be we're going to sell a product or sell some products, right? We're going to get some more distributors to help us move these products. And in a lot of cases, that just wasn't the outcome. Again, y'all, control is rooted in fear. We fear that if we don't have control, we're going to lose something. We definitely not going to gain something. We're going to lose something. And so when we are fearful about having control, we get too infatuated with the outcome. And so we never let control go. You cannot manage things that are out of your control. Like I said about the job, the one I applied for, I can control how I show up to interview. I can control my energy. I can control my personality, but I couldn't control who they're going to get a job to at the end of the day. Who they're going to get a job to is who they're going to give it to. And maybe it might not be me. So at some point, I had to relinquish control and say, you know what? I'm going to let them make the decision and back off. I did all I can do. I interviewed well. I showed up powerfully. I communicated well. I was positive, and gave great scenarios or answers to the questions that they asked me. Right? So at some point, y'all, we have to relinquish control. But we have to also make sure that once we relinquish control, that we don't continue to have a thought process of control, right? Thoughts of control are empowering. Even if you don't try to take control, just your thoughts alone of having control is empowering. And so we must rewire the way we think when it comes to managing outcomes. We have to learn to let things go that are out of our control. But now I'm going to land a plane for y'all. How do we relinquish control? I think that's the $1,000,000 question. Everyone wants to know, Coach James, how do I relinquish control? Coach James, how do I surrender? Coach James, how do I be free from overthinking and having power in my mind? How do I let my control thoughts go? Right? You can't always control your thoughts, but you can't control how long you ruminate on them. Right? You must rewire the way you think. But how do we relinquish control? Number one, understand what's in your control first. Once you understand what's in your control, what's out of your control, it'll be easier for you to surrender and relinquish your control. It'll be a lot easier. But you got to know what's within your control and what's out of your control. That's number one. Once you learn that, you'll know what's in your control. Like I said about the job interview, what was in my control is how I interviewed, how I showed up, what type of energy I brought to the interview, and how I answered the questions. Those are all within my control. And how were those within my control? It was based on me being prepared. I was 100% prepared for the interview. I practiced several interview questions. I practiced how I was going to show up. I even practiced what I was going to wear. And I also practiced once I go in the room for interview, I was going to shake their hands, what I was going to say before the interview, in the middle of the interview, and at the end of the interview. I practiced all that. All that was within my control. Long as I did what I said I'm going to do, that was my control. Right? So knowing what's in your control and what's out of your control is going to help you be able to relinquish and stop trying to manage outcomes that are out of your control. Number two, we must understand that analyzing the type of control that we think we have or don't have. And let me elaborate on that a little bit, y'all. We must analyze the control that we have and analyze the control that we don't have. Again, this is going to give you your clearer understanding of what's within your control and what's out of your control. You have to analyze these things. You have to understand these things. Analyzing is one of the things that I do really well these days. My analyzation skills, I feel like, is above average because before I make a decision on anything, before I decide to do anything, I analyze the scenario first. Can I, or is the affordability there? Can I not afford it? Is this within my control? Is it out of my control? Do I like this color? Do I not like this color? Can I change the color? Can I buy this and swapping that out for something different, right? It's about analyzing the type of control that you have and that you don't have. So number one, understand the control. And then number two, analyze the type of control that you do have. Number three, take action. It's a big one for a lot of us. Take action. Because a lot of times we want to control things, and the things we do have control over, we don't take any action with it, right? Like for the interview, let's say I didn't prepare. Let's say that I did not practice interview questions. Let's say I didn't know what I was wearing until the day of the interview, right? I haven't taken the proper action. And y'all, let me say this. Shame on some of us for wanting God to bless us with a better job. Shame on some of us for wanting God to bless us with a better marriage. And we don't put in the work. We don't take any action. We just let things be as they are. Shame on us for wanting something to be better for us, and we have taken zero action or accountability for it. So if you want something in life, take action and give it all you got. Go head over heels for it. I will say this, don't let it become an infatuation, but let it go head over heels for it. Go all in. Give it your all, 100%. So y'all, I'm here to tell you, stop trying to manage outcomes that are out of your control. Hey, y'all, thank y'all for listening. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure y'all go check out my website. It's www.rewirethewayouthink.com. I'm not hard to find. I'm on IG all day, every day. It's Fast Forward Mindset Podcast. Y'all, if you're struggling today with thoughts of suicide, thoughts of hurting yourself or someone else, please don't hesitate to call the Suicide Prevention Hotline at 988. Don't forget to hit that follow button. You hit the follow button, you never miss a moment to rewire the way you think. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. And as I always say, if your mindset doesn't make you money, it's costing you way too much. And that's my 2 cents on that, y'all. Peace. Thank y'all for listening to today's episode. And remember, don't rewind your life, fast forward it. Until next time, keep moving forward. Hey, y'all, I'm Coach James. Let me help rewire the way you think. All right, y'all. Peace.